But I got to tell you something. As much as people may have been abhorred by Donald Trump's statement weeks ago, talking about how black folks, he's hearing that black folks find him relatable because what he's going through is similar to what black Americans have gone through, he wasn't lying. He was telling the truth. When you see the law enforcement, the court system, and everything else being exercised against him, it is something that black folks throughout this nation can relate to with some of our historic, iconic figures. We've seen that happen throughout society. So no matter what race, what ethnicity you may emanate from, we relate to you when you're suffering like that because we know we have. And that's what he articulated.
What's going on, everyone? It's also Kenny here today. I decided I wanted to talk about something very near and dear to my heart, which is not ideological dogma, but is preconceived notions, preconceived assumptions, and people's, I guess, fear of kind of challenging or accepting contrarian views or alternative views on a certain party. For instance, Stephen A. Smith just came out, you saw from the intro, kind of alluding to the fact that, y'all not worried about this growing support of black people openly supporting Trump? You didn't see this kind of open energy. I mean, it existed, but it wasn't as prevalent in 2016, in 2020. But there's verifiable proof that Trump gained more support every time he went on the ballot. That's a fact. Now, people may try to minimize it, trying to obfuscate it, dismiss it as, there was low black turnout. But the black people that did voted, more of them voted for Trump. Trump had an increase in black support. Many people are saying the reason why Trump lost the election is that he lost white voters. That's the number one reason people are saying Trump lost the election. He increased support with Latino voters, black voters, right? White voters is what caused Trump the election. But people are like, oh no, Trump's not winning. Oh no, Trump's not getting black support. Well, that's still made to be seen. And they poll is the difference between considering a candidate and voting for a candidate. I understand that. But I find it funny how dogmatic a lot of black Democrats are. And it's starting to get this, like, black Democrats project onto black conservatives everything they are guilty of. They talk about black conservatives are tap dancing for the Republican Party. Black Democrats are the biggest tap dancers out of both of any political person. What? Bro, these black Democrats, boy, hey, they know how to tap dance. They'll defend Joe Biden no matter what he does. Joe Biden started the 1994 crime bill, incarcerated many black men. And in the same breath, y'all elected him as president. Y'all made him the most popular president of all time over Obama. And y'all sitting here defending him? When Kamala Harris was coming at him on the debate stage and she exposed all his past, his association with the KKK and all that stuff. His comments about, poor kids is just as bright as white kids, implying that no white kid is poor, when that's racist because the largest share of poor people in this country are white. Black Democrats will sit here and justify all their, I guess, stances with the Democratic Party. They always, like, black progressives love to complain about how they're in an abusive relationship with the Democratic Party, but they don't want to do anything about it. They just want to complain. They have no leverage over the Democrats, but they want to sit here and try to make demands out of the Democratic Party. And then they get mad when the Democratic Party dismiss them and say, shut up and vote. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black, right? A Democratic president said that. But for some reason, me being a conservative, me aligning with something that socially I am, a black man, black people are culturally more conservative than white liberals. Yet time after time after time, you expect black people to just fall in line and vote Democrat when they're pushing a culture that doesn't really, like, black people don't really identify culturally. Make it make sense. But that's a black Democrat for you. But they're pretending that black conservatives have to pretend to be something that they're not. No. It's ridiculous how we let black Democrats sit here and pretend that they're pro-black. Black Democrats are not pro-black. Black Democrats are pro-Democrat. That's about it. That's about it. Like, do I need to bring up the Malcolm X quote again?
Liberals. That white person that you see calling himself a liberal is the most dangerous thing in the entire Western Hemisphere. He's the most deceitful. He's like a fox. And a fox is always more dangerous in the forest than the wolf. You can see the wolf coming. You know what he's up to. But the fox will fool you. He comes at you with his mouth shaped in such a way that even though you see his teeth, you think he's smiling. And you take him for a friend.
Right? You put a party first and they put you last, and you continue voting for that party time and time again. You're not only a traitor to your race, but you're a chump. Malcolm X, right? I forget, 1964, I forget where it was. But black community, the black voter, the black American, 90% vote Democrat, lived this reality for 50 straight years. Continue complaining about how the Democrats are not doing enough, that they only come around when they want votes. All they do is pander, talk about how they have hostiles in their purse, and they expect you to vote for them. The only one who really materially gain anything from voting Democrat is black women. Tell me I'm lying. Welfare state supports them. The DEI initiative supports them more than black men. They get a benefit from it. You know, they use welfare more than black men. They're on Section 8 more than black men. A lot of the policies that the Democrats push, black women support gain a huge benefit from it. It makes sense that they're the most loyal Democratic voter. But black men being the second most loyal Democrat voter makes no sense to me. Makes zero sense for me. But they will call you Uncle Tom Coon sellout because you're not with the people. You spreading division. You're the reason why there's no unity in the black community. The black community never had any unity. Once the boogeyman of racism and all that stuff deteriorated, it became about, oh, we got to stay on code. We got to get special treatment from the Democratic Party. How is that equality? Oh, we deserve reparations. How are you not a coon sitting there waiting for a bunch of white people to give you money? Like, make it make sense. You didn't suffer through race. You didn't suffer through slavery. Your racism isn't comparable to the racism that Martin Luther King and them faced in the 60s, 70s, maybe. 80s is on its way out because you got welfare at that point. But you want to act like you're justified in getting the same rewards that your ancestors should have gotten. Sorry, your ancestors missed the train to get reparations. And you can blame that on a Democrat. After Abraham Lincoln got assassinated, his Democrat VP stopped all that ish about reparations. If that never happened, if Abraham Lincoln lived throughout his entire second term, you wouldn't even be able to fix your mouth and ask for reparations. Because my argument is, even if your ancestors got reparations at the time they were supposed to get reparations, most generational wealth is lost by the third generation. So that means most of y'all would still be in the current situation, current predicament that you're in now. Tell me if I'm lying. But this is the stuff y'all want? Y'all rather get sold dreams than actual practical solutions. And the practical solution is, if you want change, it's up to you. Your behaviors, your outcomes within yourself and within your community at large will dictate the prosperity of your people. Like W.E. Du Bois said in his book, The Talented Tenth, is that a group of people cannot be successful if it cannot keep its most talented and intelligent people within its ranks. The Deion Sanders saga with Jackson State is the biggest example why the black community lose. Because y'all ain't willing to pay your talent the things that they deserve. You expect people to give you a hometown discount, aka a community discount. Oh, you already made your millions, Deion. Pay for everything, Deion. Let everyone benefit off of you coaching, your fame at Jackson State, and you get the short end of the stick, Deion. In the black community, it seems like successful blacks are expected to sacrifice themselves for the betterment of their people. I don't agree with that. I believe myself as an individual, because a nation is judged about how it protects its individuals. As an individual black man, if I'm not allowed to think differently than the majority of black folks, then this is not a good country. But it is. I have freedom of expression. I have freedom of speech. I'm not less black because I decided to go with the conservative approach to how to solve our problems. There's different ways to skin a cat. But this false idea, this false dichotomy that black Democrats like to push on this social narrative is sickening. Here's a clip explaining exactly how these people perceive Stephen A. Smith's comments before, and then I'll give you his reaction to all the backlash that he receives from the black liberals. Let's take a look.
But I want to say this to Mr. Stephen Anthony Smith, because that's your name, right? Equating what black people went through to Donald Trump is the ultimate disrespect coming from you as a brother, right? Because if you was a real brother, you wouldn't say the shit that you said out of your mouth, especially to people like Sean Hannity, who is a low-key ass racist himself. Donald Trump will never be invited to the cookout. Just because he went on the other side of Harlem, which that was staged, doesn't mean he's invited to the cookout, because he's not. So I need folks like Stephen A. Smith, who is tap dancing for people that will continuously disrespect him and think of him as the other, need to read some books. Like my good sis always says, read some damn books.
I find it laughable that the people least likely, to read a book is telling other people to read a book. I did a video on CRT, DEI, saying how CRT is racism under new management. And I got a commenter that said that, this is ignorance. This statement is ignorance, right? Right? And I'm like, oh, okay. And I just replied to him, as I usually do. Can you highlight where in the video that I was ignorant, sir? Because this comment is ignorant by just saying I'm ignorant without any proof or actually position. Like these black people don't really articulate themselves, and this is why I say black Democrats are so lazy. They're so comfortable. Like black Democrats are some of the most comfortable people in the world. They sitting pretty because they don't have to make an argument. They don't have to make sense. That's the problem with you black Democrats. Y'all don't have to make sense because y'all know most black people will passively agree with you. All you have to do is say some points, right? All you have to do is regurgitate some things that they learned from school, and most black people will agree with you with no pushback. Some books I read is Red, White, and Black, which is a conservative point of view on American history, right? Rescuing American history from revisionists and race hustlers, right? I believe this should be taught in school. If you can teach a politicized, historically inaccurate 1619 project in public schools, this book should be taught in public schools as well to counter their narrative. Because what the 1619 is revisionist history. An indispensable corrective to the falsified version of black history presented by the 1619 project, radical activism and money-hungry diversity consultants. Essentially highlighting that there's an incentive for black Democrats to push this stuff. Their white liberal massa funds their ish, gives them jobs, right? This is why I said, how we cannot claim that black Democrats are house Negroes. I don't know. How can we not make that argument? Another argument, and by the way, this is a collection from black folks from various fields, various scholar activities. All of them make an argument in this book. Good book, short read. The book's premise, and if I had to summarize this book in one statement, America was once black people's greatest oppressor. But America's also black people's greatest liberator. This is the summary of the book. This is how I summarize this book. This is Dinesh D'Souza's Who is Killing America, right? The Death of a Nation. This book, what? This man got facts, right? Narrative control that the Democrats love to push, but they love to call you coon because you think differently from them. In this next clip, this final clip, and I'll probably end the video with this, Stephen A is going to go off about how, you people are just, are you crazy? Are you serious? Because black people seem to want conformity. Right? They're the same people who said, black people are not a monolith, but the minute someone expressed themselves differently from the monolith, from the majority, from the expectation that a black person is supposed to have, all of a sudden they try to other him. But I digress. Let's take a look.
I've repeatedly said, I think Trump will cause civil war in this country. I can't vote for the brother. Y'all just going to ignore that. Why am I bringing all of this stuff up? Because the second black folks find somebody from our community that doesn't march 100% lockstep with one another, they a sellout. They this, they that. Shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. This is getting ridiculous. Okay? Trump is winning. Y'all just gonna stand still? I'm wrong when I sit up there and I say, yo, Democrats, all you got is the soon to be 82-year-old incumbent. You didn't have anything in the bullpen. I'm wrong for bringing that up. I'm wrong for bringing up why the hell you had Gavin Newsom on Fox News looking like he's running for president instead of Joe Biden being the president or Kamala Harris being the vice president. I'm wrong for bringing that up. I'm wrong for bringing up when I went off about Kamala Harris, our vice president, our HBCU grad from Howard University, a black woman, highly intelligent, former attorney general in the city of San Francisco, former attorney general in the state of California. I was wrong for bringing up how she was wrong to avoid getting into it with then presidential candidate Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, when he wanted to debate her on the good parts of slavery. I was wrong. I was wrong about that. I was wrong to saying that's a fight she should have embraced. When y'all gonna wake up? I'm wrong when I'm pointing out how black folks for the first time are talking about the borders being flooded, how illegal immigration ultimately negatively affects us. I'm wrong. I'm wrong in pointing out how xenophobia, homophobia, transphobia has all of a sudden become bigger issues than racism in this country. I mean, damn.
Damn indeed, right? Because I find it funny how these people like, when like this argument that, Trump is feeling prosecuted by the justice system. Of course, because Democrats are behind it. To me, I always say, hey, Democrats are some of the most corrupt people when it comes to the criminal justice system. And no one believes me. I just showed you an example with, what's his name? Joe Biden's Jim Crow. No, sorry, not Jim Crow. Joe. I'm not going to say that. I'm talking about the 1994 crime bill. Tough on crime. How people say, you unjustly overcharged some dude because he had crack in his thing. Same argument here. We're going to go to Kamala Harris, controversial record on criminal justice reform, explained by Vogue. Right, so I highlighted a close examination of Harris' record show is filled with contradiction. She pushed for programs that help people find jobs instead of putting them in prisons, but also fought to keep people in prisons even after they were proven innocent. Isn't this what's going on with Trump right now? How did I commit fraud when no banks was defrauded? Banks got their money back. We had a term. I was able to pay back the term with interest. Yet you're saying that I defrauded the New York people because of false pretexts, because you don't agree with Trump's assessment of his values, or you don't agree with the agreement between Trump and the bank on the value of his property, and that's why you're prosecuting him for fraud? Make it make sense. Craziness. She refused to pursue the death penalty against a man who killed a police officer, but also defended California's death penalty system in court. She implemented training programs to address police officers' racial bias, but also resisted calls to get her office to investigate certain police shootings. Right? The duplicitousness of the Democratic Party. You're willing to go all the way with Trump, but now on your current soft on crime stances that now is not politically expedient for you to be tough on crime, now you want to sit here and pretend. When being soft on crime hurts black people the most. How black people are only 13% of the population, but they make up 36% of victims of violent crime. Black on black crime, that's why. Blacks are almost 50%. Black people almost commit 50% of homicides, 50% of violent crimes in this country. And most of those victims are black. Black on black crime is a big issue in the reality, the actual tangible impact to black lives. If you look at possibility, not if you look at probability, not possibility, there's no way you can disagree with me on this. That black on black crime is more of an issue than police brutality. But what the Democrats have you focus on? Police brutality. When it's supposed to help more law-abiding blacks, which I would argue is most of the black community. Most of the black community is law-abiding citizens, not criminals. But the Democrats perceive you as, oh, yeah, you're criminals. Look at what happened to this criminal. It can happen to you. Black people think they're getting profiled by cops because they get stopped. The cops don't stop you for no reason. Sorry, not sorry. I also make the argument, there's also studies that show that black people are, based on driving, they get more traffic tickets. Black people speed on average more than other groups of people, other races of people. So if you're more likely to speed, you drive at a higher miles per hour compared to other races of people, wouldn't you be more likely to get pulled over by a cop? Yes. More likely to get traffic ticket? Yes. Especially at night where they can't really see you. Like, come on. These are actions. These are the results of your own behavior. If black people didn't drive as fast, if black people drove at regular rates, right? I don't think they get pulled over as much. It makes sense to me. But people will say, oh no, that's racism. How is it racism when it's you doing it? You don't say it's racism when the black people are overrepresented in the NBA. You say no, it's because of their behavior, it's because of their abilities, it's because of the action choices that they do. That's why 78% of the NBA is black. But when it comes to other disparities, oh no, it's not your fault, it's the system's fault. It's the system's fault you're in poverty. When there's stats that show that if you were raised in a house with a single mom compared to a married couple, you're more likely to be in poverty than if you were born to a married household. Which race of people have a large percentage of single motherhood? The black community. But you're gonna say it's because of poverty. And poverty on black people is because of the system, institutional racism, systematic racism. When it's all fall down. If you look back, if you trace back all the problems that black people are complaining about, it all started with war on poverty. Where Democrats essentially create a policy incentive for black people not to be together anymore. The black family survived racism, Jim Crow, slavery, but it couldn't survive liberal policies. That's how, and then the war within is more deadly than the war outside. Like, if you don't get your own community or actions in order, if you don't look inward and decide, hey, how can we fix our situation? How can we put ourselves in a better situation? You're always doomed to fail. Poor judgment has a bigger impact on the disproportional outcomes of the black community than racism and external behaviors. Black people's destinies have never been decided by the whims of white people. That's the reality of black history. If you look at black history, that's the case. Black people were trying to free themselves. Harriet Tubman, anyone? Running to free states? Where they were running to? There was free states where black people can be free. That's where they were running to. That's where Harriet Tubman was running to. But you want to pretend all America was racist. Your fate was at the hands of white people. Frederick Douglass was like, yo, freedom is something you fight for. Now in the black Democrats, you expect, oh no, we want everyone to do something. We don't want to invest in our own schools. We don't want to invest in our own education. We expect you to do it. But y'all can find billions of dollars for weave. Y'all can find money for frivolous stuff, for materialistic stuff like gold chains. I know I'm being stereotypical. Fashion, cars. You can find money for that. But to start a business, to invest your money into the future, so it can grow in dividends, compound interest, so you can take advantage of compound interest. No, too slow for you. We're so interested in instant gratification. Fast money, as they would say, from my hood. This is what we focus on. Low probability outcomes. And we wonder why we have such a high rate of failure. I don't know. I'm done hammering on this point. I just found it funny how when you think differently from the orthodoxies in the black community, how quick they try to other you, discredit you, shame you, try to force you to comply. And you ain't gonna make me comply to nothing. Because there's no sense in voting Democrat. If you look at the results of their policy, there's no sense in it. And you could try to frame me as ignorant all you want. But I'm just saying the facts don't say what you think it says. That's my whole argument. If all black people thought the same thing about a topic, so all thought all the same thing about an issue, are you really thinking as a people? No, that's my answer. No. That's why I said there needs to be more black conservatives in the black community. Why there needs to be more black moderates who are willing to side with the Republicans because they have good policies. And I think the black community is continually going to be stagnant until they make a change. But that's just my thoughts. How about yours in the comment section? I'd like to know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate you for watching to the end of the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.